Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Thursday, July 17th, reveal that Gabi Hernandez will make a horrific discovery while Sophia Choi lies to Amy Choi. Tate Black and Doug Williams III also have a brawl on the way. So here's what Days viewers can look forward to. First, on Thursday's duel episode, Tate will have another confrontation with Doug. Since Tate will be convinced that Doug knows more than he's letting on, some heated moments are coming up. Doug is the reason for Holly Jonas and Ariana Ari Horton's disappearance, so he'll deserve it when Tate rips into him. It'll lead to Doug trying to throw Tate out, so that'll spark a brawl between them. Fortunately, Tate and Doug will end up working together later this week, so they'll finally realize that they have to join forces to help Ari and Holly. In the meantime, Holly and Ari will remain fearful in captivity. Since there's no sign of Doug being able to score the money he owes yet, Ari and Holly will definitely have concerns about what'll happen if he fails. Other Days spoilers say Gabi will face her worst nightmare when she realizes Ari never showed up at the lake. It'll leave Gabi panicking over her only daughter's vanishing act, but she'll get some support from Xander Kyriakis following the news. As for Sophia, she'll craft a story to sell Amy with Melinda Trask's help. Sophia will do whatever she can to pull off a fake birth, since she's actually already had the baby. That'll require some creativity and a whole lot of deception, but Melinda will push Sophia to just stick to the plan. Sophia will move forward with a faux adoption tale and cover up the fact that she put her baby in the safe haven box. Next, Days spoilers say EJ DiMera and Belle Black will get started on jury selection. Things were tense the last time Belle and EJ were in a room together, but they'll manage to cool down and focus on the upcoming trial. Since EJ will wish he could remember the night he got shot, could Belle suggest hypnosis? Belle will pitch an idea that could potentially jog EJ's memory, so stay tuned for updates on her strategy. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Johnny DiMera's courtroom drama is still to come regardless, so stay tuned. Days of Our Lives fans are in for a dramatic ride, as the upcoming episodes from July 21st to 25th promise intense moments, shocking discoveries, and emotional confrontations. From missing children to corporate battles, Salem's favorite characters are heading into turbulent times. The current week sets the stage for chaos, starting with Gabi facing a mother's worst nightmare. Her daughter Ari has gone missing during a supposed senior trip, leaving Gabi distraught. Xander steps in to comfort her, though insiders reveal there's no real romantic spark between them. Gabi's heart is leaning toward Philip. Meanwhile, Xander is seen balancing work and childcare, multitasking at the office with little Victoria in tow. Gabi, stopping by to discuss business, shares a brief moment of calm amidst the growing tension. Family dynamics become even more tangled as EJ and Gwen discuss a possible living arrangement at the mansion. With familial ties through EJ's nephew, Dimitri von Lochner, the mansion could see even more drama under one roof. Elsewhere, Rafe is busy digging into EJ's questionable finances with Kat's assistance, uncovering secrets through ISA and FBI channels. This investigation causes awkwardness between Kat and Chad, as Kat hides her true mission from Chad. Stephanie experiences a personal triumph as Alex surprises her with the release of her new book, only for her mother Kayla to unknowingly read excerpts, which might lead to an awkward family revelation. By midweek, courtroom tensions escalate with Belle and EJ working together to select jurors for Johnny's attempted murder trial. Belle suspects EJ used romance to manipulate her, but deeper issues come to light as EJ wishes to recover lost memories that could clear Johnny's name, hinting at a possible hypnosis session ahead. Sophia, still faking a pregnancy, plans a suspicious trip with Melinda, while sinister forces frighten young Holly and Ari, who remain in danger. The search for the missing girls intensifies as Rafe, Tate, and Doug III join forces to track them down, leading to physical confrontations and rising stakes. Doug III remains entangled in trouble, facing pressures from criminal forces over old debts while trying to protect Holly and Ari. Despite his efforts, relationships around him begin to fracture. Looking ahead to the week of July 21st, the kidnapping storyline reaches a climax. With lives hanging in the balance, Salem's finest rally to rescue Ari and Holly. Doug 3's future remains uncertain as legal complications loom, though his intentions were never malicious. Family and romantic relationships face new challenges. Sammy returns to support Johnny at his trial, potentially causing friction in Belle and EJ's fragile relationship. Kristen, meanwhile, braces for the difficult task of having her daughter Rachel testify in court, stirring motherly anxiety. In the business world, Gabi and Tony plot a corporate coup against Philip and Xander, aiming to regain control of Diarra Enterprises. However, alliances may shift as the two rival businessmen could eventually find common ground. Emotional revelations are also on the horizon. Sophia is set to confess to Tate about her secret baby and rushed adoption, possibly sparking fresh turmoil. Meanwhile, the custody battle over baby Toro continues, with Leo and Javi growing increasingly attached to the child. As courtroom battles heat up, key witnesses including Rachel, Marina, and Paulina will take the stand, bringing shocking truths to light. The coming days in Salem promise intense drama as love, betrayal, and justice collide. With family bonds tested and secrets unraveling, Days of Our Lives continues to deliver the compelling storylines that keep audiences captivated. Fans should brace for emotional twists and high-stakes confrontations as these beloved characters navigate the storm ahead. Days of Our Lives spoilers and rumors tease heartbroken Sophia Choi might want her baby back. She knows what happened to him and where he is. Baby Tesoro is being fostered by Javi Hernandez and Leo Stark, and Sophia knows he's hers. Sophia didn't want to marry Tate Black, and so she didn't want to keep the baby, because of her forceful and ultra-conservative mother, Amy Choi. Amy wasn't even very approving of Tate, having researched his upbringing and noting his prison record. Yet, to save face, she wanted the young couple to marry and do right by their baby. And that means enter the work world instead of going to college as young parents. No doubt Amy and Mr. Choi are much more concerned with their own reputations by forcing their daughter to live up to them. Sophia is faking continued pregnancy after giving birth to the baby alone. But now she regrets giving him up, finding herself wanting him back. Sophia tells a tale to Tate and her parents, enlisting Melinda Trask's help. Sophia tells a tale to Tate and her parents, enlisting Melinda Trask's help. The story is that she gives birth in a clinic where the last-minute adoptive parents waited, and the adoption took place right there. Melinda fakes the paperwork, and since it's a sealed adoption, no one can know who is raising the child. It's a total ruse. Then Sophia quits playing pregnant and loses her fake baby belly. And that's that. But since she no longer has to play pregnant, she gets an idea. She still doesn't want Tate involved, so she is going to pull off this plan totally on her own, and she's miserable with her parents besides. Sophia kidnaps baby Tesoro after creating a distraction when Javi's working and Leo's got him by himself. None of the other members of the Hernandez family are home either. She's got it all planned out right down to the most minute detail and books a hotel under an assumed name, robbing her college funds to do it. Her frantic parents can't help but hear about the missing Holly Jonas and Ariana Horton and wonder if Sophia's with them. Sophia plans to stay away from Salem with baby Tesoro until he's maybe 4 months old and mysteriously reappear with her son. Perhaps then, Tate will be with Holly and she can resume her life in Salem as a new mother, even though college might have to wait. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Wednesday, July 16th, reveal that Thomas DiMera will have a question for Kat Green and Chad DiMera. Rafe Hernandez will also trash EJ DiMera, while Stephanie Johnson faces a shocker. So let's talk about what's ahead on Duel. First, Alex Kyriakis will have a special surprise in store for the woman he loves. Days spoilers say Stephanie will be taken aback when Alex shows her the new cover of her novel, One Stormy Night, on a tablet. Although Stephanie previously had some reservations about publishing her novel, Alex finally got her on board. Since it's being released under a pseudonym, Stephanie will choose to relax, gush over the cover, and embrace the fun of all this on Wednesday's Days episode. Kayla Johnson will look at that same cover on her own tablet as she apparently purchases the book, but she won't realize her own daughter wrote all the steaminess. At the DiMera mansion, EJ will have a chance to react now that Gwen von Leuschner wants to move in. There's a good chance EJ will resist at first, but he'll eventually come around on the idea of a mutually beneficial arrangement, one that involves Gwen scheming for him. Other days' spoilers say Xander Kyriakis will continue to juggle his tasks at the office with his daddy duties. That juggling act will prove harder than Xander thought, since Victoria Kyriakis will remain fussy without Sarah Horton Kyriakis around. After Gabi Hernandez has another conversation with Xander, she'll catch up with Rafe as well. It'll be the calm before the storm for Gabi since she's on the verge of figuring out Ariana Ari Horton is missing. In the meantime, Rafe will spill to Kat about EJ's twisted history. Since Kat and Rafe are partners on a case involving EJ's takedown, Rafe will want her to know exactly who they're dealing with. While Rafe gives Kat updates on EJ's past, Chad will take Thomas to the park so they can play baseball together. Kat will later bump into Thomas and Chad there, so Thomas will catch them both off guard with a question. It turns out Thomas will ask if Kat can join in the game, so some cute scenes are on the way as Kat plays with Thomas and Chad. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Thomas's invitation could be good news when it comes to Chad and Kat's budding relationship, since he apparently approves. Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, July 17th, 25. Sophia thinks Tate's trip to the lake with Holly is the perfect opportunity to end her fake pregnancy, since her real pregnancy ended weeks ago. However, Tate never makes it to the lake because he can't find Holly. Sophia doesn't realize that, as she has to explain to her mother what she is about to do. Melinda is ready to take Sophia to Chicago, or at least out of Salem, so they can get fake adoption papers and make it seem like Sophia gave birth and gave up her baby right away. Sophia spins quite a tale for Amy, who doesn't like the idea of Sophia being out of her sight this late in her pregnancy. Will Amy buy whatever Sophia is selling? She has been overprotective of Sophia from the start. Imagine her surprise when she learns what really happened during her night at the movies a few weeks ago. Little does Sophia know that Holly and Ari never made it to the lake because they were kidnapped by a shady character named Richie, who Doug III owes money to. Tate is smart enough to know that Holly would never just ghost him and not show. They are in a better place than ever before, so Tate is sure something has to be wrong. To that end, he confronts Doug once again. Doug knows he screwed up, and the two girls he likes are both in big trouble because of him. Will Doug finally tell the truth so he and Tate can work together to try and save Holly and Ari? When Gabi doesn't hear from her daughter, there will also be hell to pay, so Doug better do the right thing if he knows what's good for him. Meanwhile, Holly and Ari strategize. They know there has to be a way out of this dangerous predicament and are determined to work as a team to free themselves ASAP. Maybe they don't need men to rescue them after all. Welcome to the Days of Our Lives Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. Little Victoria Kyriakis is having a bad week, and so are her poor parents. First, they seem to forget that Victoria is a toddler who can walk all around the Kyriakis mansion and can easily climb right out of a bassinet-sized playpen. Victoria seemed to forget she could do this, too. She also forgot she can scream and cry like a toddler, and regressed to her newborn cry. A few days later, Victoria remembered her outside voice and screamed like the almost 2-year-old that she is. But her dad forgot that he can actually pick up a screaming toddler and comfort her. Xander was going insane trying to figure out how to calm his invisible, hysterical child, who we assume was strapped into her stroller since she didn't just walk right out of it. But why couldn't Xander just unstrap her and pick her up? Perhaps she could have run around his office for a bit to let off some steam and tire herself out, as normal toddlers do. Even when baby whisperer Gabi arrived, she thought just rocking a stroller back and forth would do the trick. It did, but by then, Gabi claimed Victoria had worn herself out. We know Days didn't want to hire a baby for the day, but how hard would it have been to just make the interactions with Invisivic just a little more believable? Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full duel recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not. Seriously, do not. Forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. 7 stars from the Peacock Soap Days of Our Lives are visiting the locker room on Thursday, July 17th at 7:30 p.m. E.T. to celebrate the soap's 17 nominations for the 2025 Daytime Emmy Awards. Host Alan Locker will be welcoming Outstanding Lead Actor nominees Eric Martsolf, Paul Telfer, and Greg Ricart. Outstanding Supporting Actress nominees Lindsay Godfrey and Emily O'Brien, as well as Emerging Talent nominees Ashley Puzimis and Annalyn McCord. Starting to the show, it was a crazy year on Days, which also saw the show receive a nomination in the Outstanding Drama category. Martsolf's character, Brady, found himself framed for a hit-and-run drunk driving accident in which Godfrey's Sarah was hit, causing her to be paralyzed. Sarah's husband, Telfer's Xander, was determined to exact revenge on Brady for what he believed he did, not knowing it was Xander's own mother, Fiona, who had driven drunk that night and placed an intoxicated Brady in the driver's seat after the fact. Brady's ex-wife, O'Brien's Teresa, was busy trying to swindle Xander out of his birthright when she forged documents from his dead father, Victor, naming Alex as his long-lost son and heir, not Xander. She also kidnapped Xander's daughter, Victoria, on the orders of her partner in crime, Constantine, so he would appear to be the hero when he brought the baby back. The secret about Xander came out at Teresa's wedding to his cousin, Alex, when Xander's mother put the kibosh on Teresa's scheme at the wedding. Ricca Arts Leo faced rejection from his true love, Dimitri, after betraying his best friend Gwen, who was also in love with Dimitri and married to him. In the aftermath, Leo became head writer of the Soap Within a Soap Body and Soul, sought therapy from Marlena, and became involved in the cover-up surrounding Nicole and Eric's baby, who was believed to be dead, but was actually adopted by Eric and Sloane. Puzimis's Holly returned to town from Paris, where she had been recuperating from a drug overdose, to find out Tate had covered for her and ended up in juvenile detention. The kids were forbidden from seeing each other when Holly admitted the drugs were hers, but they fell in love anyway and fought to be together. When McCord's cat hit Salem, she was pretending to be Chad's late wife, Abigail, so that Clyde wouldn't kill her mother. She had to face the consequences of that heinous act from Chad, as well as Abby's parents, Jack and Jennifer, and their son, JJ. Julie Williams was also disgusted by the newcomer and tried to persuade Chad not to forgive her. All in all, it was a very eventful year in Salem. The actors will discuss their characters, the challenges they faced, their reactions to receiving the honor, and answer additional questions from the host. In fact, more nominees may join the show. You can check out the live stream at the YouTube link below. Days of Our Lives spoilers are in for Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. In the next episode, fans can expect Gwen Rizchek to decide on her new home. Rafe Hernandez tells Kat Green about E.J. DiMera's sordid past. Plus, Thomas DiMera extends an invitation. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in tomorrow's episode of the Peacock soap opera. Let's begin with Xander Cook Kyriakis. Since there is still a pending divorce and custody battle, a judge hasn't made a decision about the baby yet. Sarah Horton Kyriakis did have the child physically, but Xander took the baby after learning about the trip. Gabi Hernandez already reassured Xander about children just wanting their mothers at that age. Next, Xander will have a tough time comforting the baby. Over at the DiMera mansion, Gwen has been catching up with Kristen DiMera. It seems that Gwen has set herself up to take a huge fall, especially with all that gloating she's doing. Now she will inform EJ that she plans on moving into the mansion. Right now, EJ has a fight on his hands to clear Johnny DiMera of attempted murder charges, so EJ will probably deal with it with a plan to get rid of Gwen later. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Wednesday, July 16th reveal that Thomas will have a playdate with his father. However, Kat happens to come across Thomas and Chad DiMera. When Thomas sees Kat, the little boy invites her to play with them. It should be a sweet moment. Read this. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers: Gabi's shocking hint about the miracle baby. Who's the daddy? However, Kat will also get some intel from Rafe. It seems that Rafe informs Kat about EJ's sordid past. Meanwhile, Alex Kyriakis has a big surprise for Stephanie Johnson. I wonder if Alex is getting closer to proposing to her. Of course, this could also be about the book. Stephanie really doesn't want to publish her own name. She is also having issues with what if someone from her family reads it, unaware that Steve Johnson and Kayla Johnson are using the manuscript to help with their intimate adventures. So, stay tuned for the whole truth to come out. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Wednesday, July 16, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Days of Our Lives sees EJ DiMera is desperate to exonerate his son, and Marlena Evans could be the answer to his prayers, but only if she tells the truth. And I suspect she may not. And it's all going to come out in a hypnosis session on the NBC Peacock soap. Later this week, defense attorney EJ and Belle Black are picking out members of the jury for Johnny criminal trial. And it looks like EJ might ask Belle to hold off on the trial based on Chanel Dupree's seemingly incriminating video. However, I'm pretty sure EJ had that tampered with, and it's a deep fake. Chanel was there, and they argued, but then more got added to it. But it looks like Belle has to push on with the trial, and EJ's frustrated and worried about Johnny. So he tells Belle this week the best way to exonerate Johnny is for him to remember what happened that night. And Belle tells EJ she has an idea. He does not believe Johnny shot him. And heck, even Belle doesn't. But since Gabi Hernandez told Rafe Hernandez she heard Johnny arguing with EJ, and he told Jada Hunter, she jumped the gun, no pun intended, and arrested Johnny, which really ticked off Rafe. And now this is what we've got. So, I suspect that Belle's idea to help EJ try to remember that fateful night is to get her mom, Dr. Marlena, to hypnotize EJ and try and bring back his memories of that night and tell her who really shot him. But does Marlena learn some unsettling information when she puts EJ DiMera under and he tells her who shot him? He recalls the events of that night. We've already seen twists and turns. You know, the Salem PD grilled Kristen DiMera and Gabi, both ladies, with guns and grudges against EJ. But the cops couldn't get enough evidence to make attempted murder charges stick. And what's crazy with this Johnny thing, there's also no physical evidence. You know, and they both agree, yes, they argued that night. But there's no murder weapon, and the victim doesn't even want it prosecuted, so it's dodgy. So, I do believe that when Belle got that SD card from the hidden camera that it was EJ, or his henchwoman Rita, that sent the doctored video over to the DA to implicate Chanel. Knowing there's no evidence to convict her, it seemed like the safe option to get the attention off of his son. But right now, Johnny's ready to plead guilty to get his wife Chanel off the hook. But Belle probably is going to think hypnosis is a better option. So I think she'll ask her mom Marlena to overlook her dislike of the man and hypnotize EJ and jog his faulty memory. But if Marlena hears from EJ in the session that her granddaughter Rachel Black pulled the trigger, you know, that would be earth-shattering. Marlena knows that Rachel has been having issues, and so she might be shocked if EJ is under and recalls his niece shooting him. But it might make sense to Marlena, you know, because of what she's seeing with Rachel. However, I can't see Marlena revealing this info to EJ or Belle or anybody. The question is, would Doc abandon her professional ethics to protect Rachel? Well, I think she might. Marlena just lost her beloved John Black, and she just may not be able to handle any other loss. So Marlena might even tell EJ to forget it and embed some kind of memory block in his head to keep EJ from ever recalling that Rachel did it. We have heard from our leaker a while back that Marlena finds out Rachel shot EJ uncovers for her granddaughter, but I didn't have it on my bingo card that Marlena got the info from EJ directly. I thought she might get it from Rachel herself. So I'm very curious to see this. We were hoping the manila envelope that Belle Black was sent would shed new light on the EJ case, but all it did was offer a doctored video, which was a false narrative to try and take some heat off Johnny. It was a clumsy effort. So far, it's passing. I don't know if it's going to withstand scrutiny. And you know, even when EJ thought Johnny really did shoot him, EJ was covering for him. And now that he knows Johnny really didn't shoot him, There's no way EJ is going to let his son go to prison. However, if Marlena can block his memories, EJ might not find out the truth for a while. The leaker also said Sarah Horton finds out that Rachel's the shooter and also covers for the kid that of course she once thought was her daughter. So yeah, Sarah would cover for Rachel too. And Marlena is a very skilled hypnotist, and she's brought back memories for lots of people. That's why Belle is going to be confident that her mom will succeed with EJ. And I bet Marlena does succeed, but then has to undo what she did. We've seen a lot of little Easter eggs along the way pointing to Rachel as the shooter. We've seen tummy aches, anxieties, and nightmares. Plus, Johnny admitted he left the gun inside the house with EJ. But Roman Brady found the gun sloppily hidden in the flower pots outside the Dimera mansion. That's sloppy. It's childlike. It's a total amateur move. And Rachel hated that EJ took away her grandmother, Rachel Blake. And Kristen, of course, has taught Rachel by example to be ruthless with her enemies. So really, Kristen is responsible for what Rachel did. The kid told Marlena she saw Johnny fighting with his dad while holding a gun. That's true, but I'm not sure if Rachel is lying about her part in it, or if she has also forgotten that night, in some kind of traumatic break. Rachel has been a very naughty little schemer in the past, and if she does remember shooting EJ, these symptoms may be fear of being punished. And if she did forget, then Rachel's guilt is eating at her subconsciously. So yeah, absolutely. I think Marlena would lie and cover for her. And in the summer promo, Belle says she thinks Marlena knows who shot EJ Dimera, and that is likely going to come after Marlena hypnotizes EJ. And I mean, heck, if Marlena told Belle that her niece Rachel shot EJ, and that's why she's covering up, Belle might decide to join her in the cover-up. I do think Marlena will talk to Rachel after she hypnotizes EJ to try to get more info. Try to figure out if Rachel has forgotten, if she remembers, and just for Marlena to find the way to best help Rachel. Plus, our leaker told us that Kristen is going to end up fake confessing and taking the fall for Rachel to keep her kid out of juvie for shooting EJ, so I'm excited to see Marlena put EJ under. So, hopefully we finally get a crisp and clear total picture of the night of his shooting. It's been lingering too long with too many suspects and not enough concrete info and answers. So, will EJ remember that night? Remember Rachel shooting him while under hypnosis? But Marlena wipes his memories to protect little Rachel. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Ari Horton may discover that Toro is Sophia Choi's baby, but let's discuss why she'll likely keep quiet. Of course, we should mention that Ari will be caught up in some kidnapping mayhem during the week of July 14 through 18. Ari and Holly Jonas will be abducted together, so they'll bond over that harrowing experience. Days spoilers suggest Holly and Ari will have time to talk in captivity, so Ari may see just how much Holly loves Tate Black. Holly may admit she was interested in Doug Williams III for a while, but Tate is the guy she truly adores. In other words, Days will use this whole snatching nightmare to strengthen Ari's friendship with Holly and make her root for Holly's romance with Tate. Since Ari wants Doug for herself, it'll work in her favor if Holly and Tate remain an item. That may be part of why Ari will try to shut down Sophia's upcoming sabotage and convince her to move on from Tate. Whatever the case, Sophia is keeping a huge secret since she gave birth to Tate's baby and dropped him off in the safe haven box at the fire station. Ari doesn't know it yet, but she's already met Tate and Sophia's son. Javi Hernandez and Leo Stark are caring for little Toro right there in the Hernandez house, so Days spoilers say Ari will have a front row seat to their continued baby bonding. There's a good chance this will turn into an adoption story since Leo and Javi will have a tough time letting Toro go. Javi and Leo may kick off a journey to become parents, so that's something else to keep in mind. When you consider all these layers to the story, it's easy to see why dual writers might have Ari uncover Sophia's secret. Sophia might blurt out an admission or give Ari enough clues to figure out the truth herself. Part of Ari may want to come clean, but she'll have so many good reasons not to. If Ari blabs, she may worry that the baby drama that drove Holly and Tate apart in the first place will reignite. That could leave Ari concerned about her ability to hold on to Doug since he's so enamored with Holly. Plus, Ari won't want to destroy the family that Javi and Leo are trying to create. This could turn into an extremely messy situation for Ari, and that's exactly why she's the perfect person to discover what Sophia's hiding. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Sophia will dupe Tate with a bogus adoption in the coming weeks, but Ari could get updates on some shocking Toro news down the road. We know Days of Our Lives Belle certainly has a fighting spirit. You kinda have to if you're a lawyer, and that goes double if you're the DA. That doesn't mean she always makes the smartest choices when it comes to love, though, as now she's turning that fighting spirit on her current love, EJ, after he tried pressuring her into dropping Johnny's case. But while some of Belle's choices may not always be for the best, they're almost certainly always entertaining. With that said, it takes a lot to keep that entertainment going on our screens, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. And that's why we have award shows like the Daytime Emmys, to celebrate everyone who puts in the hard work. Martha Madison took to her Instagram stories to champion not just Days of Our Lives, but all of soapdom on Emmy Day when the nominations were announced. Days of Our Lives earned an impressive 11 nominations in everything from acting to writing, directing, and Best Soap. Virtually every aspect of the Peacock Sudser was honored with nominations recognizing folks' hard work. And Madison was not just proud of what the Peacock Sudser accomplished, but fiercely protective of it and everyone who puts in the hard work to keep it running and thriving. Soaps shoot all year long, Belle's portrayer wrote in her stories. Produce 5 episodes per week, sometimes shoot up to 8 to 10 episodes a week. That can be 150-plus pages in 8 to 10 hours. She went on to point out that nobody in Hollywood works harder, has better technical skill, or more team spirit than daytime TV professionals. Fight me! To be clear, Madison wasn't just talking about Days of Our Lives. As she continued, I'm so proud of our team, our genre, and all of the people who make all the shows. We certainly second that. Everyone in daytime has a reason to be proud of all the hard work they put in to making our beloved soaps. The world just wouldn't be the same without them. Take a look at Belle's greatest triumphs and disappointments in our photo gallery of her Salem life and adventures below. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, July 17th reveal that Gabi Hernandez will make a horrific discovery while Sophia Choi lies to Amy Choi. Tate Black and Doug Williams III also have a brawl on the way, so here's what Days viewers can look forward to. First, on Thursday's Duel episode, Tate will have another confrontation with Doug. Since Tate will be convinced that Doug knows more than he's letting on, some heated moments are coming up. Doug is the reason for Haldi. Ozzy Jontain's miss on Ariana Ari Horton's disappearance, so he'll deserve it when Tate rips into him. It'll lead to Doug trying to throw Tate out, so that'll spark a brawl between them. Fortunately, Tate and Doug will end up working together later this week, so they'll finally realize that they have to join forces to help Ari and Holly. In the meantime, Holly and Ari will remain fearful in captivity. Since there's no sign of Doug being able to score the money he owes yet, Ari and Holly will definitely have concerns about what'll happen if he fails. Other Days spoilers say Gabi will face her worst nightmare when she realizes Ari never showed up at the lake. It'll leave Gabi panicking over her only daughter's vanishing act, but she'll get some support from Xander Kyriakis following the news. As for Sophia, she'll craft a story to sell Amy with Melinda Trask's help. Sophia will do whatever she can to pull off a fake birth since she's actually already had the baby. That'll require some creativity and a whole lot of deception, but Melinda will push Sophia to just stick to the plan. Sophia will move forward with a faux adoption tale and cover up the fact that she put her baby in the safe haven box. Next, Days spoilers say EJ DeMera and Belle Black will get started on jury selection. Things were tense the last time Belle and EJ were in a room together, but they'll manage to cool down and focus on the upcoming trial. Since EJ will wish he could remember the night he got shot, could Belle suggest hypnosis?